we're talking about a primetime player in Antonio Brown who can change your offense. I mean, this is not like a defensive back. It's not like Earl Thomas. It's not a defensive pass rusher like Khalil Mack. We're talking about an offensive weapon. And to think that he could possibly be on your team, I don't know if he's kind of hurt himself, but just hearing him talk this past weekend on LeBron James, The Shop, I know that's one thing that a lot of people, they want to get look behind the curtain.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, Antonio Brown took them behind the curtain. Here's little Antonio Brown from The Shop on Friday night.
Once the last game came, buddy, to go home with the confusion, too much confusion, I'm like, damn, this is where they really at. Because now they showing me the reality. You know, oh, yeah, the good dude called me out. We lose a game. He like, damn, AD should have ran the better route.
Why would Ben do that?
The type of guy he is. He feel like he the owner. Bro, you threw the shit to the D-line, man. How the I'm going to run the better route? You need to give me a better ball. But it's like in the league, you're going to have a guy from the team to be like, well, you can't say that. I need you to get this out there. Like, but it's like, why I got to be at there? At least ask how you feel first. Let it roll. Right there, if it don't matter how I feel, then right now, you know what I'm saying?
That's totally different from our sport.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see LeBron at the end, it's totally different from our sport. I think, look, what he's saying is that, look, Ben Roethlisberger kind of called him out and said, Antonio's got to run a better route, things like that. And Antonio's saying, wait, hold on. Why do I have to say, oh, I got to run a better route? Which at the time he did say. He was like, but you threw the ball to the defensive lineman. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, those are the conversations that are held in the locker room. And I think it didn't go over well because now you have a quarterback who's not taking the blame, not taking and putting the onus on himself, saying, I got to be better in that situation. Don't blame the next person. And Antonio he got fired up. I'm always pro player, but it's different because now you're talking about two players going up against each other. And one almost is like the extension of the owner, which is what Ben Roethlisberger is. He's the extension of the head coach. And you watch that play and it's like, oh, Antonio could have ran a better route. No, Ben, you got to throw a better ball. And
after the game, he blamed the center for blocking the defensive lineman into the path of the ball.
It's just say, you know what? It was a bad play on my part. I have to be better. And then you move on from it. But when you don't have the kind of guy in I would say Antonio Brown, who is, I think he may have been told, because there's always a PR guy in there. Okay, the PR guy from the team, they could tell you, they walk up to Antonio and look, they're aware of what's going on out there. They read the Twitter, they read all the articles, the daily papers and things like that. And Ben Roethlisberger made some comments, and so on his next media availability, they go over to Antonio and say, "Hey, look, Antonio, we just want to get in front of this a little bit. You know, Ben said this, so, you know, let's not make it a big thing. And just, you know, Ben said, you know, you could run a better route, and just let's just try to, you know, go out in front of it. Don't make it a big deal." And Antonio's like, wait, but what about my feelings? Why are we catering to Ben? Why not me? Why not me? And I think that's, to a player, that hurts me because I'm doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. I'm busting my butt every single day, and no one cares about how I feel. We just care about what Ben feels like. That's not the thing that you want to see, and I get it. So watching him kind of peel back the curtain a little bit, that was honest talk in the locker room. I've been in those situations before where guys like, why do I have to be the one to fall on the sword? That's the dude. Go talk to number 7 and ask him why he didn't throw a better ball. Don't come to me. But I don't see him trying to fix this situation at all. This ship has sailed.
Oh, no, it's over. He's going to be on a different team next year. He has to be.
I think he went up to Mr. Rooney. He drew that line and said, which side are you on? Are you team AB or are you team Ben? And I think he said, look, I got to go with team Ben and not team AB. And once you have that discussion, and that's why it's going to be a mutually parting of ways at some point. I don't think they get the trade value that they want for him unless they fully release him. But I always say, you're always pushed to a deadline. When you're up against that deadline, I think that's where you can make the decision of, all right, we got to let him go. Last year, they got a 3rd-round pick for Martavis Bryant. I think when they realize that there's not a big market for people giving up 1st-round picks, I think that at some point the Steelers do let him go, but I think they pay him that 2.5 on March 17th.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.